Hi, this is Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll like it and come back. And if you're returning, thanks so much for coming back. Today I have a special guest joining me for the video. This is Tina. I met Tina through Facebook, and I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell you a little bit more. So go ahead, Tina.
Okay. Hey, thanks for having me on, Tammy. This is fun. Yeah, so Tammy and I met through Nicole Spore's Facebook group and instant friends, and we have so much in common because I do card making too. And I also like to sew, crochet, chalk couture, which is like chalking on surfaces and stuff. And I also like Animal Crossing.
That's a game,
I like to
right?
play games. I'm a gamer. But yeah, once I started cross stitching again after like 30 years, I found all the things that have changed and it just hooked me in again. And now I'm obsessed and addicted, and sewing goes along with it. Like we'll show some stuff, and yeah. So that's a little about me.
Okay. You answered one of the questions about how long you've been cross stitching. How long has it been this time?
You know, I was trying to remember. It's just been a few months. I resisted for a long time watching Nicole's videos and yours. And it was like, okay, I did that before. I don't want to do it again. And then the more videos I watched, I was like, okay, I got to go back to it. And then I was totally obsessed. So it might have been June or July, but it's only been a few months and I'm in deep. So
Yeah, it's easy to get sucked in. I went in way, way deep this time. And then the other question I had for you was if you're a planner or do you just stitch what calls you?
some people do have calendars, and like Sunday they do like the faith ones, and Monday whatever, but I just do whatever I feel like doing. Like that even includes sewing or crocheting or card making. It's like what I feel like doing now. I feel like cross stitching this pattern, you know, for fall or Christmas or whatever. So it's really just what I feel like.
I try planning and I end up being called by so many things. So my planning always goes out the wayside, but I have a few plans today. We'll see how they go. They've been calling to me, so okay, well, let's get into the cross stitch part of the video. We're going to start out with FFOs, which is a fully finished object, or any finishes. Tina, do you want to start with
Okay.
with your finishes?
Okay. I learned from Tammy how to do things like on the big scale. I mean, she's over there. Yeah, I'm sanding today. I'm painting today, and I'm like, I'm slapping things on a magnet and calling it done. So I am very simple and frugal, and like this is a canvas I got from the Dollar Tree. Slapped a magnet on it,
Can you hold
and
it up closer?
I stitched this
There.
little fox. He's a little stamp, and I liked him so much I did him again. But this one I turned into a pillow. And I didn't do the stamp, like the postage stamp stuff. I didn't put the 10 cents on this time. I just kept them kind of a little fall motif. But then this one I turned into a pillow. So
Very
I am just all about the I'm done. He's going to be turned into something, and it's going to be something simple. So, but I enjoy seeing what you do, and I learn. It just seems a little intimidating to me right now.
well. It's actually fun, but I grew up doing like wood crafts and stuff with my dad, so none of that is new to me. It's just new to put it with cross stitch. So my finished but almost fully finished object is I spent yesterday working on this. This is the shelf sitter stand by 141 Design Company. So this piece comes out. She sells this piece separate, so you can buy one stand and do multiple pieces. And my paint is still slightly wet. I wanted to have it done for today, but it's not. So I use flat black spray paint, and then I'm going to spray it with a sealer. And then what goes on this is, oops, easier if it was actually on there. This is Halloween Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. And last night I did the finishing part of this. I mounted this on, I don't use the sticky board. I use, what's it called? Chipboard. I have a bunch of chipboard because I make albums and stuff. And so I mounted this with a layer of batting, and then I put it on this. It's kind of hard to see this fabric. Maybe you can see better on the back. It's purple with little bats all over it. I wish you could see it better, that it was a bigger piece, but I thought it matched perfectly because there's bats on here. And then I put this trim on it, and to hide the ends, which it meets right here, that's why I put this button. So that's hiding the ends of my trim. You might not be able to see them anyway because they're black, but I thought this was so much fun. Took me about a week to stitch this, and I can't wait to get it on here. And I think I'm going to use magnets. I don't think I'm going to permanently attach it to this, so that I can do all the tiny towns and they'll all belong to this one backer. I did order another backer to go into this, and I'm not sure what color I'm going to paint it. This is the pattern, the tiny town pattern. It was a lot of fun to stitch. So that's the only thing I have that's finished. And you have one other thing, right, Tina?
Yeah. Okay, I'm thinking which one. Okay, I'm on to the magnet thing because I never knew about the whole magnet. I love that idea. I have my own simplified version of that. Okay, so bought some magnets at the Dollar Tree, and they came on this little circle, like metal circle. And then this is an easel from the Dollar Tree. So I thought, okay, I'll hot glue that on, hot glue the magnets onto here, slap that baby on there, and it's done.
Oh, that's really cool.
Thanks. And then I did change the pattern a little. This was I think it's a Primrose Cottage pattern.
It is.
And she had like this other little line on the H, and I was like, I'm gonna change that, make it look more like the P and the K, which I love that freedom that you could do that. And then made this little button. I cross-stitched it with used a button maker. So that was fun. Otherwise you can just put fabric in the button and do that. But I love the simplicity and how versatile it is to use the magnets. And so who knows, maybe I'll change it out for a Christmas one. But yeah, so that's
I just got that pattern. I love that pattern. I haven't started it yet. And then show your hedgehog. Is he handy?
Okay, that's what I was wondering too. I was like, did you show the hedgehog? Okay, so this guy was a free pattern from Shannon Christine on her Facebook page. He's so cute.
He's adorable.
So this one's not on Ada. I think this is a white Lugana, and then made him into a pillow. And I messed up because I didn't plan to put this yarn on, but I messed up in the stitching. So I thought, okay, what yarn do I have? So I hot glued the yarn on there too. But yeah, so I even thought about doing him again because he's so cute. But I moved on to other things. So
how long did it take you to stitch the hedgehog?
He was quick. Like 4 or 5 days.
Probably take me longer to pull the threads because there's a lot of colors in him than to stitch him, but
true. And they were all floss that I had. So I just looked at what I had and said, I'm just going to do them in whatever. So yeah, he wouldn't take you long.
I want to do him soon. Okay, now let's go to WIPs. I will start. I went to a cross stitch retreat last weekend, and there were 2 designers there, and they provided us with a pattern that was designed specifically for us because we're in the Pacific Northwest. So one of them did a forest pattern. This is from the Blue Flower, and the pattern is called Forest Home.
Pretty.
And it's beautiful. And of course they had stitched models there that were so pretty. And both patterns, they provided full kits, all the floss and fabric. And this fabric is a 36 count. I lost my little tag, so I don't remember the color name. but it's 36 count linen, which Tina knows I'm not a linen stitcher, but I went to this retreat and I was like, well, I want to start these now. And I had a lot of encouragement from the people at my table to at least start it. I can restart it later if I want. So this is my start on this one. I just have 2 words and I can't remember the color name, but it is a very pretty green color. And it's Edinburgh linen. And the linen I've stitched on in the past was very open and you could see through it and it made it hard to stitch. This is more dense and it was easier to stitch on. And then she also gave us a little needle minder that matches the picture.
Adorbs.
Isn't that cute? So that is my first WIP. Janine McGowan is the blue flower, and she was very nice. And so while each designer had a turn to speak, and while they were speaking is when I started their picture. So what's your first WIP, Tina?
Yeah. Okay, so I got this one, and she didn't misspell city. She's like from Italy, I think. Owl stitching. And so I'm only doing the houses because I just have to change things somehow. I don't know. Maybe I make things harder, but I'm only doing the houses and I have this start.
That's
so
really cool.
It's fun. Some of our friends, Tammy and my friends, and I think Tammy included, they love stitching houses. So like you did the tiny town, and I'm like, well, I want to stitch a house too. So I'm doing this one, and it is really fun. And that's an Ada. It might be 16, I think, Ada.
I like the colors in that, and I think I did buy that pattern also. I have a whole pile of patterns I've downloaded lately. And when I download, I save them to a file, but I print at least the cover page and keep it in my pattern book until I'm ready to stitch. Otherwise, I forget what I have. And I'm a visual person. I like to see. Our other designer was Lindy Stitches, who is Stephanie Webb. She had never been to the West Coast or never been to Oregon, but she'd never been to seen our ocean or anything either before. But she and Janine both did research because neither one of them lives here. So the forest one, Janine researched, and it's got our kinds of critters from the Pacific Northwest. And Stephanie's is an ocean one or a seaside one. And so she researched what we have here, and she called it beachcomber.
Aww.
And this, I can't remember what kind of whale it is. It's supposed to be, but ours are gray, but she wanted to make it blue. So she changed the color. And so when she talked, she told us what each of these animals was and a little bit about it. So it was a very interesting talk. This one I'd never heard of. It's called a murre or something like that. But the others, I knew what they all were. We have puffins, which are cute little birds that we see when we go to the aquarium. And then that's a seal or a sea lion. I can't remember. But so that was from Stephanie. Hers is on 32 count linen. This one's still in the Q-snap. And I got a little farther on it because I stitched Sunday on it too. So, and this also was pretty easy to stitch on with good light. We had really good lighting, and I actually could see it to stitch. So I'm not going to start either one of those over. I'm going to leave them on that fabric and finish them that way. So I actually did a linen project 30 some years ago. It was in a Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine, a wedding sampler for my sister. And I remember fighting with it because it was like that color of a linen, but it was kind of see-through. But I finished it, and she still has it, but she doesn't have it on display. I asked her recently about seeing it, and she's like, "Oh, I think it's in the attic." Well, at least you didn't throw it away, so that's a good thing. Okay, what's your next one, Tina?
Okay, on the topic of I changed things again. I don't know why, but this is Tiny Modernist, and it's a bell pull, autumn bell pull. Okay, so I wasn't wild about the scarecrow. I wasn't wild about some of the arrows. So I changed it. I just cut and pasted the pattern, and this is how far I've gotten. So I just made more leaves and bumped some things up, and yeah. So it'll be a little shorter, which is fine.
Yep.
I don't know what a bell pull is, but I don't know how I'll finish it, but it'll happen somehow.
Well, in ancient times, I don't know how ancient ago, the bell pull actually was decoratively stitched, and it was hanging someplace, and they used it to like summon servants or something when they wanted to. What we
Oh,
use text messaging for. It's how they contacted people in other parts of their. I don't know if it was just in castles, but that's what it originally was for. So that's
hmm.
why they call it a bell pull. So it's designed to be not really mounted on anything except maybe a thing at the top. But I
Oh,
don't like the way they hang just the fabric, so I always mount them on something anyway. But
yeah, I
that's
think
really cool. Can't wait to see it done.
me
Um,
too.
my next one is by Silver Creek Samplers, and it's called Give Greatly. You have seen this in my videos before. I had never heard of her until that quarter shop had her as a guest star a few months ago. And
Hmm.
this pattern was on my kind of maybe do list, but Primrose Cottage Stitches, the mom is doing a stitch along with this, and so I decided that was a good time to start it. And I change almost everything that I do.
Good.
It's funny, when I showed this the other day, I lost the needle, so I have a thread hanging here. Mine is on blue. It's cobalt blue by Fiber on a Whim. It's 16 count Ada. And I also changed the colors. If you notice, like the green and red, I'm doing what I consider traditional colors. And this is green, but it shows more yellowish, and it's supposed to have snowflakes in there. Um, so that's how far I am on Give Greatly. I think this is a really cute picture. And
It is. I like it on the blue.
yeah, I do too. I'm excited to finish it, but I have a bunch of other things calling me, so I don't know when it'll get done. We'll see.
Tammy,
I
Tammy.
know.
Okay, well, this one is our friend Jolene's fault. Because Jolene said I'm doing this stitch along and it's super fun. Anyone want to do it with me? And I said, that looks fun. Yeah, it's a mystery stitch. So this is like white it out. We don't
Two
know
two
what's
parts
down.
left, right?
I think so. I can't even remember when they're being released, if it's every Monday or every Tuesday. But I just started with the little candy and I am not very far.
Oh, it's going to be really cute though.
But yeah, so that's the little candy. And I might, I'm using variegated floss for Christmas. I might just use solid red for the bow. And I kind of want to introduce another color rather than just red and green. I kind of want to make this a different color. So we'll see. But she said it's a fun stitch, and it is. So I was like, okay, I'm in. And it was a free pattern. So,
Yeah, and it looks like a quick stitch. And that's Fat Quarter Shop, right? That stitch
right.
on. My next one is, this is by Luminous Fiber Arts, and it's called Cat O' Lantern. I love Luminous Fiber Arts patterns, and I love to watch her videos. It's Misty Purcell. She's just such a sweet person, and I enjoy watching her videos. Most of her videos are showing her stuff, but she also stitches other designers, so it's fun to watch. And I really like cats, and this is just cute. So this is Cat O' Lantern. And
Cute.
the picture is huge, like just a full page. Um, I like that she does that, that her covers for her patterns, you get a really good view. A lot of them do really tiny pictures, especially if it's a small, and you can't really see the detail. So I really like this. I am considering adding, so there's two colors of orange in here. I'm considering making one of them purple, but I'm not sure yet. There is no purple in this, and as you guys may have seen my theme, I like to add purple to my Halloween stuff. So Haven't decided yet. Right now I'm stitching on the black part of the border. I started this last night, so this is a tiny stitch. This is 16 count Ada by Bestitch Me, and it's called Garden Party. And it's kind of a peachy color with a bunch of blue. And part of the piece had a heavy blue, and I didn't want the heavy blue. I just wanted the peachy and light. So, and this is, it's only going to be like this long. So it's coming out pretty small. So it'll be, I haven't made a cross stitch pillow yet. It'll be, it might be a pillow, it might be a flat fold of some sort, or it might go in one of Chantel's new backers. Chantel, for those of you who don't know, is Chantel's 141 Design Company makes backers for cross stitch, and that's where this came from. She designed this just because of Tiny Town. She does cross stitching also, but she makes really fun backers. So this will probably end up in one of her backers.
I vote pillow, but that's just me.
You might have to give me a pillow tutorial, Tina.
I really like Nicole's. Nicole Spohr did a pillow tutorial, and that gave me confidence. So, but yeah, I'll help you out too. Okay, so my next one is also Owl Stitching House Letter to Santa. You didn't know I was doing this one.
No, that's very cute.
Everybody. Well, it's this dog's head tilt that got me. I was like, oh my gosh. And like, so as a card maker, I like how he's or she, whatever, is mailing a card. So I'm like, okay,
well, that's fun.
Yeah. And I'm also changing the colors because I was like, okay, red and green are fine, but let's bring something else in. This is a Lugana, and let me get it. I think this is the right way. Yeah, so I started with the coat. I don't know why I started with the coat, but I started with the coat, and it's a Colorworks variegated floss.
And is it purple?
It's more like a bluish.
It's looking purple on the camera, but
in it. Yeah. I don't know where even the rest of it is. Oh. But yeah, so it's kind of a blue that changes to purple, that changes back to blue.
That's
so
cool.
I just thought the kid needed like a little blue coat. So yeah.
Very cute. I can't wait to see that done.
Me too.
My last one is I took a class yesterday at my local needle workshop, which is Acorns and Threads in Portland. And it was class number 2 of Hardanger. The first one was beginners, and I did Hardanger years ago, but it was nice to have a refresher. And Hardanger, if you don't know, it's a type of embroidery, and it's called that because it came from that. That's the name of the area of the country that it's from. And of course, I can't remember what country it's from, but somewhere that's not the United States. I know that. So this is called Frosty Pine. The pattern is by Mabel Figworthy's Fancies, and this is the pattern. And the teacher has this done, and I wish I had a picture. Oh, I do have a picture. I'm not filming with my phone, so she did this as a kind of an ornament. Usually I'm filming with my phone, so I can't show pictures that are in my phone. This is, so you can see how she finished it. You can't see what it's on. It's on a 6x6 wood block that's painted white. And around the edges, where's my finger? Okay. Around the outside edges, she has a white trim that is sparkly. It's like a cord that she put around the edges, and it's sparkly. And it is so pretty. And it was the first class we did colored floss on white fabric. This is colored floss on colored fabric. And one of the ladies, there were only 3 of us in the class, one of the ladies started and said, I can't do this on the color. So Kathy gave her some white, and this thread turned out really pretty on white too. So I'm not done. This is my little start. Still missing this part up here. So part of my triangle is missing, and I haven't done any cutting yet. I've only done the little cluster blocks, and cluster block is just satin stitches. little groups of satin stitches, and it's probably hard to see in this picture, but you do little groups and then you cut threads and pull them out, and so it's fun. It's kind of scary, but it's fun. And you can make really cool things with them. People make doilies and tablecloths and things out of it, and it's just beautiful.
What are the snowflakes?
They are just they're a stitch that it's like you did a like a Smyrna cross, and then in the middle you add other little tinier crosses. So it's like maybe like a Smyrna cross on top of a Smyrna cross, different sizes. And it is, I think she said it was Rainbow Gallery. It's an iridescent white thread.
Ooh.
It's really pretty.
Wow.
So
good job.
Yeah, thanks. I was hoping to finish it in the class, but I had to tear out a lot because it is dark on dark. I had to tear out a lot because you're counting each little block is there's 5 stitches over 4 threads, and this thread is Karan watercolors is the big thread, and then there's another one you use that's water lilies, I think, is a finer thread. Hardanger is usually done with pearl cotton, but she wanted to do colors, so these are similar in size. Pearl cotton comes in multiple sizes, so more to come on Hardanger, even just in a few minutes, because I really like it. So that was my last WIP, I think. Do you have more?
I have one more.
Okay.
And I don't know if you're doing, Nicole Spohr is doing a stitch along starting October 4th. I don't know. I should probably find out. But it's a Shannon Christine pattern called Old Fashioned. I was nervous about doing on the black, but I am. And I've heard people not liking a lot of white because white threads can kind of make not so great X's. Well, I wanted to use red variegated. So I changed. The hot cocoa will be, wow, that really is tough, isn't it? The hot cocoa words will be in this red Weeks Colorworks Turkish red. And I started before the actual sale because I just wanted to see how this red was going to work. And so far, so good. So
that's cool. I like it the way that it is with the white, but I also like to see what people do different. So I'm anxious to see. And no, I'm not doing that stitch along. I thought about it a lot and then decided I have too many other things I want to do. So I'm not, as you know, Tina, I like to do things because of the fear of missing out.
yeah.
But this time I decided I have too many other things I want to do. So I'm not doing that one, although it is a very cute pattern.
One, you can always hop on to the sale and do something else while
yeah,
everybody else is doing that. So
yeah.
that'd be good.
Yeah. So let's see. I guess from there, I need to be careful. This is in my way, but it's a little bit tacky. I have to be careful where I put it. I don't want to get black paint on anything. From there, I have written down to go into haul. Do you have any haul to share with us, Tina?
I don't. So I'll let you go.
Okay.
I'll see you haul.
I pulled out just a little bit. When I was at Acorns and Threads for the class yesterday, when I walked in, it's funny, the last time I was there too, the first thing I saw when I walked in, I had to buy. I walked in and I saw this.
Wow.
On the counter. And I have one of these patterns already. It's the same cat, but she's done them in multiple colorways. And the one I have is called Rainbow. And so it's in my WIPs. Next time I do a WIP parade, it will come out. But this one was charted specifically for Acorns and Threads. And it's in their colors, and it's got this cute little acorn button that's a Mill Hill button. So I had to have that. Now I'm kind of thinking I want to start it, but it wasn't anywhere on my radar as far as stuff to start soon. And then Hardanger, there is a floss tube that I love to watch. And so any of you who have not seen this one, I'll link them below. It's called Running with Scissors, Stitching with Jane and Julie. It's two friends who became friends many, many years ago because of stitching, and they're a hoot to watch. Jane has very dry humor, and Julie is very bubbly. So their personalities are very different, and they're just fun to watch. And Julie, for years, was a Hardanger teacher, and she has her own website and sells some kits. So this one isn't a great picture, but so I went on her website and had to get this kit. So it's a little doily.
Aww.
And it's a trinket box and I don't know what the other thing is. She calls it an ensemble, so I can't remember what this piece is here, but and the color, the picture isn't a really good color because it's more purple, which is me. I'm purple. And then it has this acrylic box. The box is made by Sudbury House, Sudbury House makes cool stuff to stitch on. I should have already had that out of the plastic. This is the little acrylic box, so you're going to stitch a top for it. So that was a Hardanger thing that I came across recently, and I just placed another order with her. And then when I was at the retreat, I saw this. Somebody was stitching this, and this was one of the designers who was at the retreat anyway, the blue flower. And they were stitching it on a pretty purple fabric. And I've seen this on a lot of YouTube videos and keep thinking it's pretty, but this is the first time I've seen it in person. So the sample, it doesn't look like it, but the sample is stitched on a gray fabric, but somebody there was stitching it on a purple fabric that was dyed specifically for it by Be Stitch Me. So I contacted her and she does have that fabric. So of course I had to buy the pattern. This is a big one. It'll take a long time to stitch, but I've just liked it for a long time. And when I was there yesterday, I picked up it uses DMC and a bunch of weeks dye work, so I picked up those. And so when the fabric comes, I can start that. And I only have two more pieces of haul to show. One is when Hands On Design was a guest speaker on Fat Quarter Shop, they showed this the first time. This is Well Hello There. And it reminded Kimberly that she had stitched them and never finished them. So she has since had them all finished, and there's one for each month. And what's her name? Hands On Design. I know her name.
Kathy?
It's not, no. Yeah, Kathy Haberman. Is that right?
In Sioux City?
She had worked with Just Another Button Company, and they designed all the buttons for this. And so the Fat Quarter Shop is selling, they don't sell this all together as a kit. This little booklet has all 12 patterns in it, but they have the button pack, and then they have a thread pack. So these just came yesterday or the day before. So I'm gonna have fun getting those started. And then Chantel just bought this also. And so she was telling which backer she's either gonna design one just for it or tell us which one she thinks it would be good in. So that's exciting. And then my last piece of haul is there is a lady who lives in the Portland area somewhere who makes project bags. She was making them exclusively for Acorns and Threads. So I picked this one up yesterday. And she always puts a fun poll on it. She is Crafty Corey Stitches, but she actually was at the retreat last weekend. Very sweet lady. And because of Acorns and Threads, she now is in 3 other shops across the country.
Wow.
She doesn't have a website or sell them that way, although all the needlework shops, you can contact them. And when you walk into Acorns and Threads, that's the first thing you see. They have a glass case right by the door that has fun stuff inside, and Corey's project bags are laying all along the top of it. So I usually always leave with one. So that was the end of my haul. So then for plans, I'll tell you my plans for I'm only going to say what I think I'm going to do in the next week, because as I said earlier, plans go out the window. I had purchased, I've had this for a while, this isn't haul, but this company, Fern Ridge Collections, makes these really cool, what do they call them? It's like a scissor fob, but I wouldn't probably put it on scissors. They're beaded and they're made with peyote stitch. This one is a zebra pattern, but I have 4 or 5 of these, and I've done peyote stitch, but not the way they do it in these patterns. So we were talking about it at our table, and one of the ladies said, well, I'm just gonna have them do a class for us. So she went over and talked to one of the girls that works at the shop. And so Friday we have a class. The class is just for 2 of us. One of the people that I met at the retreat, who was a wonderful lady, she was so sweet and welcoming. And one of the new friends that I made is Carolyn Zook, who is C Zook Stitches on Flosstube. So it was fun to meet her and spend the weekend with her. And so she and I are going to do this class together on Friday. So that's a definite for the week for plans. And my other plans are, I have these 2 things that I've been wanting to start. And because of the heart hanger class is getting me better to start one of them. This is by Doreen Jones. It is a sunflower sewing patch. So sewing pouch, not a patch, but it's got heart hanger in it.
Wow.
So I'm going to start that this week. And then I've had this for a while and I've shown it before. This is a Tisket a Tasket, which is a very large pattern. And there's a stitch along been going on for months. It'll be for years till people are done. But I think this is very pretty. But I contacted a needle workshop in New England and they changed the color of threads for me to purple.
Nice.
So, I'm doing purple threads. It's still, the gray is still there. So it's purple and gray, and I'm using green fabric. So this is what it's going to look like.
Wow.
And this fabric is not, the color is not showing. This is a brighter. No, I can't get the color right. This is Fiber on a Whim, and it's called Beanstalk. And it's just a really pretty light green color. So, and then I also need to work on my flamingos that I showed in my last video, because that's for my sister and I need to finish it. And then whatever else calls to me, the cat o' lantern, since I just started it, of course, is calling to me, but I wish I could stitch everything all at once. I just can't do all the things I want to do. What kind of plans do you have, Tina?
First of all, doesn't your sister watch your YouTube videos? Like, wouldn't she see the flamingos?
So, funny story about that. She's not into cross stitch at all, and I was sure she didn't watch my videos. And one day she said, I was crafting with her and she said, so what was that flamingo thing you had on your last video? And I was like, I thought you didn't watch my videos. And she says, well, yeah, I do sometimes. And I said, so then why don't you know what it is? Because I don't use sound. So she's watching the videos when she has a break at work, but she can't turn on the sound, so she just sees the video. So I had to tell her what it was, and then I showed it to her the next time I was there. Anyway, yeah, so she does know.
But she likes it, right?
Yeah, she loves flamingos.
Okay, good. Oh, that's funny. So yeah, I just plan on working on the WIPs. There's a few sewing projects that I'm gonna do for Christmas things. But that's kind of my plans. So
cool. Yeah. And I guess the last thing we have is that we have a giveaway. Tina wants to share she makes project bags and she wants to give one of them away to a lucky viewer.
This one with a little fabric button, because the cardinal's on the back. Wow, my light is bad. Okay, there we go. We can see the male and female cardinals. So yes, as a thank you to Tammy for having me on, I want to give away this Christmas project bag. And Tammy will let me know who wins it next week probably or something, and I'll ship it out. So how do you do that? How do you do a giveaway, Tammy?
So the giveaway rules, you need to be 18 or over because I have to ask for your address. And I can only do that if you're 18. So you'll put the keyword in a comment below. The keyword is going to be bag, so include that in your comment. Please like and share or like and comment on the video. We would love for you to be a subscriber, but it's not required to enter. And then, yes, I'm planning to do a video next weekend. I don't know what day I'm going to film it, but right before I film, I will draw a winner, and then you will need to email me your address. So I'll announce it on the next video, and then I'll get the information to Tina, and she will mail it out.
Yeah,
So thanks, Tina, for doing that giveaway. That's really fun.
sure.
So I think
Yeah,
that's.
thanks for having me on, Tammy.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, Tina's my first guest star. I have some other friends we're trying to talk into being a guest star. We know that one of them will, but not sure about the others yet. So we'll see. And so hopefully you liked this video with a special guest star. It was a new way to do it for me. And I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
so everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. And thank you, Tina.
Sure. Thank you. Bye.